Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right. It finally happened. Tyler Buckner is going to Alabama. He's made it official. And now they have 5 scholarship quarterbacks.
No way.
And 1 or 2 are bound to leave. There's almost no way around it. You can't have 5 scholarship quarterbacks in the transfer portal age. You know, back 5-10 years ago, you could have. Alabama did that all the time. They'd always have at least 4. Look, Tennessee's got 2, okay? And a lot of teams have 2 that are, you know, supposedly viable. We do have Gaston Moore, who kind of showed out in the spring practice, so I'm not terribly concerned about our situation. But having 5 quarterbacks, all of which, you know, were the big dogs in high school, now they're stuck because they brought in this new guy who happens to be this close with the offensive coordinator. So what do you think the other guy's chances are? So what I think a lot of these quarterbacks are going to do is this. Yep, they're going to run away. They're going to go somewhere else because, you know, they're going to fear favoritism. You know, Tommy Rees has already picked Tyler Buckner once to be starter up at Notre Dame, and now he's followed him down to Alabama. So, you know, if you're one of those other quarterbacks, your odds of being the starter are slim at best. And this story's all out there. This is SB Nation. It says Roll Bama Roll is the name of this website. This was written by Josh Catham. It says Notre Dame transfer QB Tyler Buckner commits to Alabama football. And we've covered this quite a bit. He actually entered the portal with a no contact tag, meaning that he had complete control over the recruiting process. And he didn't want anybody calling him because I think he'd already decided he was going to go to Bama. It's the first place he visited and quickly decided to reunite with Tommy Rees, his old offensive coordinator. So Buckner was a highly recruited quarterback. He was the number 71 player in the country. It says interceptions were his biggest issue as he tossed 8 in his first 118 college passes. I'll show you his stats here in a little bit. And here the writer says there's almost zero chance that Buckner's been offered anything more than a chance to compete, but that doesn't keep fans from being very mad online about Buckner following Rees to Tuscaloosa. And so, yeah, Twitter's not happy. If you watched my show a couple of days ago, you know, they did a Twitter poll amongst Alabama fans, and 74% did not want this guy. Okay, so he's coming into, you know, a little bit of a hostile situation, but if he plays well, it won't matter. Everybody will forget all that crap. And here's a bunch of people online. Here's Notre Dame recruiting. It says Tyler Buckner lost the QB competition at Notre Dame, so naturally he found a place where he'd have a better chance to start, Alabama.
Alabama!
Said, honestly, that being a reality feels good, feels amazing to have Sam Hartman leading this football team. And here's early reactions from Alabama fans. It says, here's one that says, geez, not good. Here's another one that says, looks like I picked the wrong time to quit sniffing glue. That's from a fan. Here's a guy that says, it's surely not the majority of people, but I can't believe people are questioning Marcus Freeman's decision to bring in Sam Hartman simply because Tyler Buckner left. Said Hartman gives him a shot at a national championship. Here's one from College Football Nation. Former Notre Dame Tyler Buckner announced. He said Buckner has a career total of 6 TDs and 8 INTs. He is QB1 for Roll Tide ? Here's one that says, the fact that Alabama needs to take Notre Dame's backup QB to be its starter signals serious problems in Tuscaloosa. Tyler Buckner is not nearly good enough to win a national title, and even Alabama OC Tommy Rees admitted that in recruiting Sam Hartman to South Bend. It says, Alabama adding Tyler Buckner suggests they have little confidence in their other QBs. Notre Dame added Sam Hartman because they had little confidence in Buckner. And this is questioning here. Here's all their other quarterbacks. Jalen Milroe. I don't see him staying at QB. He ought to maybe consider being a wide receiver or something. Of course, Ty Simpson, who came out of the state of Tennessee, he was a number 2 quarterback. He didn't really impress in the spring game. Then they've got Eli Holston and then Dylan Lonergan. So I don't see all 5 of these quarterbacks staying very long. You know, 1 or 2 will probably leave. They probably should, really. Now, the thing about Buckner is he's an intriguing quarterback. He's got a lot of skills. He plays fast and loose with that football. You know, even in the South Carolina game where he played really well, he had a bunch of INTs. So here's his stats the last 2 years. His completion rate is 60% in 2021 and then 55% in 22. Let's see. And again, 6 TDs and 8 INTs. Here's his game against South Carolina. The first 2 games, he was the quarterback when they lost to Marshall, and then OSU when they started out 0-2. And in the Carolina game that they won, he played a pretty darn good game, threw for 273 yards with 54% completion rate, which is not very good. 3 touchdowns, 3 INTs, and he got sacked twice. So he showed some real skills, but he also was really loose with the football. And in the Marshall game, he had 0 TDs and 2 interceptions. So I'm going to tell you what, I just don't see Nick Saban tolerating a whole lot of interceptions. That's really going to be the issue down there because, look, here's the thing about Saban. He wants to run the ball and go back to playing tough defense the way he won all those championships years ago. And he kind of switched to a faster pace when Gus Malzahn started beating him at Auburn. So he brought in Lane Kiffin, and he started moving the ball a lot quicker and started moving into what he thought was the new way, which really has been. But Georgia has really taken a leak in his Cheerios by winning 2 national titles in a row, playing his old style of football, which is running the ball, having basically a manager at quarterback, which is what Bennett was, and a really good one, and playing really tough defense. You know, that's Georgia's kind of known for that, and it's really worked for him. And I think what Saban wants to do is to go back to the future.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious.
What did I tell you?
Yep. He's definitely Doc Saban right now. So it'll be very interesting to see who transfers out over the next few days. They don't have very much time in the transfer portal. It closes on April 30th, so there's only a few days left, and these guys have had this new guy thrown in. And again, the politics of it stink. If you're one of those 4 quarterbacks, and here's the offensive coordinator that's already picked Buckner once and has worked closely with him, that stinks for you because you know that's his guy. So it's going to be real tricky down there in Bama the next few days to see how this plays out. I don't think it was necessarily a bad move, though, because if you're not happy with your quarterback room, you probably ought to bring somebody in, and Nick Saban doesn't care. Look, he's all about winning a national title, and if he hurts somebody's feelings or multiple people's feelings, that's of no consequence. I can promise you that. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's me know to continue to cover the Vols and all our opposing teams in the SEC and all that good stuff. And if you've not subscribed, it's right here on the left. Just hit that little button. Just boom. Cost you nothing, helps me out. And right over here's my most recent video. Be sure to check that one out. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk J.